Hello everyone, Zeldin here. Today I am going to do a little commentary on a game we played with some friends over from old school RuneScape. And we played a little game against two computer players on the hardest difficulty. And so it was a 3v2. The two CPU players are not allied. And we of course are all working together to try our best to defeat them. So let's have a look at what's going on. Fog of War off so we can see what's going on. And I'm there in the red, rocking as the Indians, Forgotten Empires expansion. Got Runecraft OS here, some Magyars, and Tereo, or Transkuja as his mumble is. He's playing the Slavs. So that's one team, and up against them we have got the Persians, and we have the Turks, both on the hardest difficulty, which has been pretty decent actually in the Forgotten Empires. They managed to rework the AI, so it's fairly challenging, which makes a nice little change from how it used to be back in the original game. So we'll get right into it, we'll speed things up, and as you can see it's been a very poor start here because myself and Runecraft have been forced over to this tiny little island here, which means there's going to be some sharing of resources, and as you can see I'm already struggling to get some food in at the start. I'm actually having to build a dock for food. There's only the forage bushes there, not managed to scout those sheep, which is pretty poor of me. True, on the other hand, he's got a nice little setup really. He's got an island to himself, two-part island, northern and southern side linked by those shallows there, so it's a pretty nice setup, plenty of gold, plenty of stone all in one place, perfect spot for a mine there. Not really much to say on the northern island, but you know, a few forests, and he's got all his sheep there. Boar's a little bit far from the town centre, but he's put his mill down already, so he's got that one there pretty nicely. Yellows here, again they've got their own island. It's only a short hop to the mainland of Italy there, but that's a transport ship away. So they're actually quite limited, and the King Bahrain here, the Persians, have got the full run of the mill of the land mass over here, so they've got a huge amount of resources, loads of space to build, pretty set up really. So no one actually on the main boot of Italy there, and that actually is a pretty major factor in this game. We knew we were playing the real world map, but of course we had no idea where the placements are, so we've put Fog of War back on. Don't know where that mass is, and at this early stage that's kind of critical, and it will be important to try and find a foothold on the mainland, because obviously the resources on this little island are going to get pretty slim pretty quickly. So we're only 5 minutes into the game and already the feudal age has been hit here by the two computer players. 5-minute feudal, absolutely brutal. Going up with, let's see, we switch over quickly. Going up with a population of just 9 villagers, so they're aging early, and you know, getting the tech advantage straight in there. Could probably go for a fast castle, and yeah, straight away we see the market go up, we see the blacksmith go up, so that's the 2 buildings set there. And they're all set really, they can trade resources and they've got the buildings they need to age up, so going pretty mad on the tech. Similarly we see, yeah, we've got a blacksmith over there, walling the gold up actually. Market's down. Do we see anything else? No military buildings, so no plans to build any military, interestingly enough. Meanwhile back over here, I think I've gone heavy on woodcutters to compensate for having to make fishing ships early on in the game, and to be ready to build some farms knowing there's not a lot of food going on. So that's really stunted the growth there. At my point there, we see looking at resources, only a couple hundred food, 15 villagers at this point, so Pop's not doing too badly. If we look at what Runecraft's up to, he's on 19 villagers, so you see he's 4 villagers ahead there. He's got a really nice little wood camp going on there. I think the plan at this stage was working towards getting some navy together, sort of doing a bit more long-term planning for survivability on a small island. Still foraging bushes, not made use of the boars at all, which is probably a little bit detrimental. And Trio, he's doing fine, he's got plenty of space, he's got the gold coming in, he's got a second boar lured. He's building another mill over there by the wood, by the forage barriers. And we're only 10 minutes into the game, and we've already got a castle age over at King Borian's spot before we've even seen a feudal from any of the 3 of us human players. But I mean, if we look at its population cap, I mean, he's not realistically that far ahead, only 12 villagers. He's getting the castle up there, which is an interesting decision. But of course, he's now got the freedom to build a second town centre, so he can really start pumping out the villagers now if he chooses to. And similarly, I think we'll probably see the same for the Turks over here. Though they've got more of a defensive layout, you know, they've got a couple of archers patrolling the borders, a few towers up next to the coastal positions, surrounding the docks. So it's, you know, it's good to see some variation in the gameplay type, even between 2 AI which are on the same difficulty setting. They've really nicely, I'll say randomized, but you know, redone the AI. Back over at the mainland, I think we should probably be seeing feudal age soon. What are we, 13 minutes in? Not just yet. 25 pop though, really high pop. I think there's a lack of something. Not sure what. But we've got a transport ship there, so there are plans, and if we put the fog of war on, just scouting with that fishing ship, trying to find where to go, and already encountered that tower there, so we already know that that is not a safe route through. And just to further complicate that, there is a dock up, so there should be some naval units. And Archer there blocking the transport ship, quite skillfully even. Got a few more hits on it, but not enough to do any permanent damage. And King Borian browsing the coast for his demolition ships, potentially quite dangerous. We see now it's a second castle going up, actually, not a second town centre. A little bit unusual. You'd have expected them to be popularising. What am I saying? Can't even get my words out. Capitalising. That's what I'm looking for on that advantage. And as we see there, just in that 20-second gap or 10-second gap, 3 human players hitting the feudal age. So got more houses going up. Beautiful Slavic houses and docks. You know, they're all up. Not too much expansion there on that main island. Sorry. And over here we actually have a couple of units landed on the mainland, so just setting up some observer posts and just trying to manage as well the mainland still being unruly. There's a real population crisis here, and pops as well, so it's all gone to shit really. Runecraft managing a lot better, I think. Yeah, he's 32 pop, plenty of houses, plenty of resources, doing really nicely. He started on the gold as well, got some good resource management here. And he's got the villager over on the mainland starting to wall off the area there for expansion, so it's all looking very good really. A couple of fishing ships. Orders went ignored, which is a little bit sad. And there's all the deer down here as well. But definitely in a good position. And equally I think Torio as well. Yeah, he's doing really nicely. For 30 pop, loads of resources, loads of gold. So he's in a position now to, you know, he could castle on that if he gets his buildings up, and sure enough there goes a market, and he's actually starting to wall around this upper islands as well, so he's ready for an attack if one comes. Now speaking of attack, you can see this is now being scouted by the Persians, so they're probably looking to do something about that forward. Sure enough they've got some cavalry archers, they've got some skirmishers, and they will be looking to do something about that over there. And we see now some units in the boat there. Don't know where these guys are heading. And if we actually look, where's his fog of war? He has scouted this outpost with this little galley there, so he's aware of this position here, and I think we can see these 2 transports coming to actually do something about that. Let's have a look. Yep, so that's the transports up there going for the only villager of mine, and she cannot get to the tower in time. And up here we have Runecraft now painfully aware of the villagers after yells from me on the mumble chat that there is definitely a problem. So he's gonna stay high and dry in that corner as the problem doesn't blow over because of no murder holes. Nothing to really be done about that at this point, nothing to compensate with. However, Torrio is now in the castle age. He's popped up, he's looking good. He's getting his nice defensive output up. And now some microing here as we play round from around the tower. And more transport ships moving up. And I think there was a reinforcement transport ship as well that also didn't make it. So I know that's still there. You see a bit of contact there between the scouts and the army of cavalry archers on the coast. Been good here, got a second tower coming up here to support this one so these can cover each other. Got monastery there, nice, capitalising that relic. University, Torrio really storming forward away for the unit team here. Supported of course by myself and Marinecraft that are now starting to really grind on each other for resources on this tiny island. It's starting to get very cramped very quickly, so really need to secure this area. And sure enough, this wall is now up. Marinecraft is only villager left, and we now see this transport ship going out, trying to get across. And demolition ship pretty much takes it out onto its last legs. So it should be an easy pickings for that tower to just finish it off, or if not, galley and a demolition ship here to do the job. And yep, there you go, the galley's on that, and that sank. And now there's a patrol of a few galleys and the demolition ship blocking that safe route across. More troops being landed there. Not going to be a problem with two towers already up here. And that was me of course pinging after some scouting. If we look on the fog of war, taking out that gold and stone, and also there's golden forage bushes there. Obviously looking for locations for relanding. Not yet actually aware really of where the yellows are. Obviously we scouted that part there, but it's not. Oh yeah, I suppose you can tell actually if you think carefully about it, but didn't really make the connection at this point that the mainland Italy here was not occupied. So it's probably missed and should have been looked into earlier, because obviously you've got this entire landmass here would have been really plentiful resources and generally unoccupied. What we see here, Runecraft's starting to wall off the home island, if you like. Make sure they've got that back foot to fall upon if it all goes awry. And Torrio doing very nicely now with his wall here. He's got sort of a nice little Motte and Bailey style fortress with this fortified area up to the top and his bottom area of the resources. It's left unguarded as such, but I've got a spot to go back to, which is important. And equally I've started there to wall from that side as well to cover the entirety of the island. And Runecraft covering this section here. Plan is to wall off entirely, get a safe foothold and move on into the main enemy. Not really much hostility between the two computer players here, just a few units dropped off here and there, but not really doing a lot. Certainly no aggression from the Persians. They have not actively made any attacks that have fallen on any of the players actually, computer or human alike. So they're quite restrained really. Second town centre up now to 3 castles. So it seems to have taken a more defensive stance to the gameplay than the aggressive yellows, the Turks. I think soon we should see some trade units going on. Not any military as of yet. You can see being created. Certainly over here. I think the main priority is still here for myself and Runecraft is actually to move off the island. Certainly I've now managed to negotiate that transport ship around those galleys as Runecraft hits the castle age, and just dropping off that villager, you can now pop a town centre down and establish a second colony. Runecraft not having a villager, apart from this one here, probably should have put a town centre down here, because he certainly doesn't have room to put another one down here on the first island, where resources are getting quite contested. See the primary gold supply is running pretty low, and the woodcutting camp's starting to get into each other's regions, so Trio quite happily doing his own thing up on his island, no contest, no pressure from the opponent. He's got all the time he needs to sort of slowly grow and boom, so he's doing great there. Turks not really doing a lot either. They've got a lot of archers and skirmishers patrolling the coast, and the resources are running around, but they're not really making any moves to do anything about that. The Persians as well, whilst they've got a large run of the landmass, they've got a decent sized military. Oh hang on, we are seeing aggression here, so we'll see what happens with this. They've not filled up. I mean, they've got far more. They've got a second transport ship there, so it's possibly going to move over as well. Seems they're going to be making an attempted attack over here, and they are not able to land there. So, are they going for the yellows? Are they going for the Turks? And we've got some harassment there from the Turks onto the mainland, taking over those fishing ships, which will have a small toll. And yep, we are actually seeing some harassment on the Turks here, it seems. Possibly. Yep, and yeah, he's landed there, so he's got a load of horse archers and some skirmishers, and that's not going to be a match actually for all of this. So these guys are going to be able to clean this small rather quickly. There's another transport ship arriving now, but only carrying one skirmisher, so it's not really going to be any much of a contest there. And still a huge, well, I say huge, relatively sized military over here. They're just sort of sitting, not really doing much. Fairly sure they've actually scouted the yeah, they've scouted this, so it is a little bit surprising they've not gone on the attack there. And we're actually just seeing skirmishes between the two computer players as transport ships are dropping off small numbers of troops in each end. Generally ignoring the human players, I think at this point they're not as much as a threat. I mean, if you look at the scores, the two computer players are up in the 5,500 regions, whereas Trio, the strongest human player at the moment, is 1k behind them. So he's starting to feel a bit of the Turk push on the trade cogs there. But he's also starting to build his own military up as well. He's getting those Slavic hussars out, which of course have got a nice bonus from the Civ special racial attribute things. They have not what I want to say there, but you know what I mean. And this is actually looking very promising now over here. We've got town centre coming up from Runecraft. I've got town centre up, got a castle going up, we've got an archery range here with a few units. We've got these guys going up to build a mine, presumably up here. So we've got a nice forward going on, and the economy back home is decent yet competitive. I mean, you can see the villager rush there over the gold mines, space running out as resource camps take over the coast. But there is this problem of aggression here with the sort of this northern tip with the towers, and not really having a sufficient navy to do anything about it. We've got monks there, converting fire ships. We've got tower, we've got castles, we've got catapults, we've got archers. Very close range between these two regions, and another supporting tower there from Runecraft, and so he's called in for help. We've got a bit of aggression here with the ships. We've got some small naval skirmishes and a few troops landing here and there, but again, nothing dissimilar from what we've seen before. We've got this mad trading route over here with Trio just going absolutely mad on the trade cogs to Runecraft's excuse me, to Runecraft's dock. So he's raking in that trade profit, straight line route. And again, more troops being dropped off, not a lot going on there. If we have a look, we've got another castle going up here, and another. Oh, it's a town centre there. And this mine is now up over here, and there's actually another town centre going up from me in that corner. We've got a barracks and another castle there, a Runecraft castle. So we are looking very secure over in this front, and there's probably a time shortly where troops are going to start pumping out. From there, Trio here is sending us fast fire ships to help cover this region here, which is obviously hotly contested with the all of these guys trying to get involved on this front. And we've got 3 towers, 4 towers on this coastal region. And a lot of harassment from the Turks here, getting right back. Runecraft's fire ships are moving from their little bay, keeping vigil. And we see the strain of resources as the mining camps start throwing up on the same gold rocks. And we've got Elephant Archers being created there. Trio now, lovely army there. He's got these elite boyars, the special unit, load of hussars, some trebuchets. He is set for a big attack. On the defending sides, of course, we've seen the sort of Turkish might, a lot of ground units on that small island. Pretty hard to land on really. Towers all around the coast, castles all around the coast. No real safe landing point there. As you have a... It's having to go anyway, aggressing on that dock there, taking it out with relative ease. Making his job of defending that area a lot easier. Getting a bit of aggression back. And some demolition ships coming in now to cause some real trouble. Same time, Runecraft being a bit more expansive with the walls over on this main island, just making a bit more space to push on, and not very far away actually from the castle at all. Trio trying to harass the coast, but really struggling with all the towers there as well as the navy. It's not really going anywhere, unfortunately, and he is now loading his army up though, so we'll see what he's doing with that in just a second. And we've now actually got cannon galleons coming out from the Turks. For far superior range to the towers, so they can just smite the towers out without any issues whatsoever. All nearly finishing around this main island here, which secures that area nicely, and very secure over here. We've got some Magyar Hussars from Runecraft. A bit of harassment from the cannon galleons. I think he took out a tower there. And obviously taking out a dock as well. Causing a little bit of disruption, but nothing too serious really. And see the sea transport ships there going along that bottom line. Hopefully not getting harassed by the cannon galleons, or the towers for that matter. Just got a couple of pot shots off there on those transports. But they're in the clear now, so they're probably going to go and land here and make their way on the offensive. Got some offensive transport ships here. 1, 2, 3 transport ships coming in. Not sure they'll make it or not. That's one. One down at least. Not sure what the contents were. That will slow down the play here, so there's a little bit going on. We'll just see what happens. One skirmisher out and one thing out there, so not really very much going on. Not entirely sure it's in slow motion. We'll speed it back up again. So yeah, we've got some elite war elephants now, quite a decent mass of those. We have the Torio's army of hussars there, along with the trebuchets. Getting a little bit of harassed there actually from the galleon on the coast, but easily able to outmaneuver. And they're also doing a good job of harassing the Turks here, taking out that tower, the fast fire ships. Before the mangonels come in to help clean up. Really doing a fantastic job. Trio just commanding this game. He's got a really nice sort of home position, built up all his economy. Had a little raid on it there, it seems, but I think he's sorted it out at that point. Just, you know, really in the strong position of having his own island, having his economy built up, having a good navy, having a good trade supply, and just being in this position where he can sort of command the battle, if you like. Runecraft and myself sort of struggling to gain any good position from the start, given the resource split, and then having to sort of move on to this island. And even now, just playing catch up really. Torio just ahead of the game and already on the offensive there. You know, he's just handled session over here, and yet he's back here on the offensive, taking on most of Persians by himself at this point. And also still harassing the Turks as well. He's got this navy. No one else has got a navy yet, I don't think. I've now decided. I know Runecraft's going to join the offensive as well. So we see the Persian trebuchets taken out, and just some good microing there. Bringing them back, getting them healed up, sending them in again. Sort of this slash and run tactic. Runecraft getting in there now as well. Sort of cleaning through the Persian army, really taking up most of it at this point, and you see the mad galleons and cannon galleons along the coast trying to help out the land troops, but to no avail. And we now see the elite elephant archers moving in. We've got the cannon, bombard cannons moving in as well. We've got some hand cannoneers being made. Runecraft back at home. I believe he is possibly at this point building a navy. We're not sure. Can't see. And we've got another huge army over here by Torio, already rebuilt. He's going to be heading out again with another sizable force. And just as the assault begins to waver and die out, got a fresh wave in with the elephant archers, just really tearing through and tanking the damage without any problems there. They got a monk supporting somewhere, but quite happily just sort of moving in, getting some harassment from the cannon galleons, but not really having any effect on the elephant archers. I think the bombard cannons take a few casualties here. I mean, on the whole, you see one go down there, and nearly two. We just let us retreat there, but the elite elephant archers are able to hold their ground and tank it. And they just move back a little bit, wait for reinforcements to arrive from the other teams. We've got cannon galleons now from Runecraft. He's now taking the Turks out. He's really neutralising that threat. All by himself. He's, you know, just a few cannon galleons able to outrange everything. Turkish navy reduced by Torio's relentless fire ships, and Turks really out of the game now. They're out of resources here. You can see the woodcutter's not really knowing what to do. Farms depleting, no wood to rebuild a navy. Turks are out of the game at this point. And it's really just the Persians that have got something left, but that's not going to last for long. We've got monks here now. They're back supporting those elite elephant archers. We've got an army of hand cannoneers there. Economy at home, run out of resources, but just lots of farms, lots of resources coming in from the food department anyway, to keep the forward army supported. And Torio, he's also moved now into mainland. Eventually he's got his town centre set up. He's getting the second relic. You know, he is happy there. He's got this army sitting in these transport ships ready to move where needed. Some awesome trade going on here in this little section. They're all quite happily building up, just some holding this front here from the Persian army remnants, if you like, at this point. They're already realising how little they had left. I would have moved in had I known. Again, getting tiny harassment, but really not doing any damage. I mean, that was a direct hit there from the Mangonel, and it's just tickled these health pools. And we now see the bombard cannons coming in to start the depletion of that. And if we look at the fog of war, you can just see it's just skirting the edges of these areas. Knowing there's a few castles in the centre there, not really knowing a lot else, and still not knowing about the situation here. But that said, Runecraft commanding the coastline of the Turkish forces, and myself requesting some support there. So Trio, he's sending in his fire ships, and his ground troops are also moving in. So we've just got huge armies here, sack of hand cannoneers as well. Just a really powerful ranged force here, commanding the attack. And where are these fire ships going? Are they moving around? We're not sure. But it doesn't matter now, town centres are going down very quickly. And all fronts covered really. Got some attacks here on the castle with the Kananganians, but it doesn't matter, it's really all over. The Turks are out of the game hugely. Runecraft cleaned those up, and the Persians now facing a wrath of 10 bombard cannons and a lot of elephants and a lot of hand cannoneers. Still in quite a secure position here with the sort of line of castles keeping this town centre out of bounds, and still got a large navy covering the coastline. But inland we're seeing quite a big depletion here of the Castle forces. These guys being cautious, the elephants tanking any hits coming in here. And Trio's fire ships are moving in, and all of the boyars and the hussars and everything else having to come clean up. So it's really game over for the Persians. And see this move off the side, and the fast fire ships cleaning those galleons up like they weren't even there. The castle's finally falling. Town centre is now a free for all. I mean, just look at that, just taking those hits like nothing. And Runecraft again just cleaning up. Pretty much wiped out the entire town by himself. Everything coastal is just gone. Now actually see this one scout cavalry doing some random scouting. That's the Persians cleaned up there really. And transport ship being sent for the hand cannoneers by Torrio. Give them a lift over to finish off what Runecraft so well started. So that's pretty much it at this point of the game. Not a lot more to say. Just the case from here on of transports being moved out. I think as a whole, this game was an unexpected success given the starting points that we had, where Runecraft and myself were bunged on an island with pretty poorly split resources, and sort of having to try and move off from that. Torrio really, just as I said before, commanding the game, being in this really sort of strong position, of sort of having his own space to sort of build and boom, and he was like a huge tool in the success here. I also think the AI difficulty, whilst being more difficult than previously, it's not. It's still beatable, and I think that a game where 2 of the hardest AI were against us, it could have been a very different story. So it's possibly the next route to do, and see the outcome of that. But that is pretty much it. And fast forward a bit, long story short, these guys got cleaned up pretty quickly by the hand cannoneers and co, before we spent a little while looking for one lost unit somewhere. So yeah, we'll end it there, and we'll look at the achievements at the end of the game. So we see a strong score there. The end actually ended up with the highest total score, but I think that's from resources collected. we delve into that a bit more, see Torio contributing highly to the units killed. He also took the biggest losses for us as well. And had a huge army, so he was hugely supportive on the military front there. Economy wise, actually managed to scrape together most food and wood. Stone was ninjaed by Runecraft for his epic walling, and Torio had run of the gold with his excellent trade profit as well, just making those differences. Tech wise, just seeing this massive difference between the AI and the human players there. 5-minute feudals compared to quite slow 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hours. So it's quite a difference there, and also exploration. You know, the computer's really improved from the previous AI. Not actually much to say about that. And there's a timeline. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Any comments, leave them in the box below, and if you've enjoyed it, subscribe, and I'll have some more videos for you. Cheers.